Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we're back on the Updates Danger Zone dev server, and it's time to have a look at a new premium destroyer that is going to be coming in for Italy. This is the Geniere, and it may be a bit confusing because we already have a Geniere in the game, and it's also in the Blue Water tree. The RN Geniere that you can see here. It's a Soldati class destroyer from the mid-1940s for Italy. But this one is a new one. This is a 1972 Geniere, a Fante class machine. Now, this is actually a Fletcher class, which was given to Italy in the 70s. So this technically still is a Second World War destroyer, but at the same time, it was used by the Italian naval stuff in the 70s. So that's why it's known as that. The Geniere gets access to 4 single-mounted 127s, which will be very powerful. These are very good guns when it comes to most of the machines that use them. It also has access to 3 dual-mounted 76mm. These have HEVT and will massacre anything that comes close to it, and also has the Mark 44 torpedoes in the triple mounts that you can see here in these areas. So these will also be kind of useful. They don't have a great travel distance though, so I feel like most people won't take them just because of that fact. The guns though, the main ones, the 127s, they actually have a really crazy first fire rate, 22 rounds per minute, which means that you have less than 3 seconds of reload for the guns, and also even when your first stage is out, it's still 15 rounds per minute, which is 4 seconds every time a gun needs to be fired, or a gun is ready to fire, which is awesome for a mid-tier destroyer, which this machine is. It's basically the same fire rate that you find on a lot of the American destroyers, which makes them super powerful in the game. It also has some huge engines in the middle, massive ammo racks under the guns for obvious reasons, because it uses them quite a lot, and the overall armor on this thing is very, very low. You have 16mm in the hull, 4mm in the superstructure, but you also have this anti-fragmentation armor, which sits on the vehicle, which does actually add to their survivability by quite a lot in general. You also have a little bit of anti-fragmentation armor on the turrets themselves, and also over here on the radar. Oh, sorry, the fire director. And what is really odd about the fire director is it only goes up to 93% instead of 100%. And the fire solution calculation is super quick because it's a it's a much more modern fire director compared to many others. So it only takes 6 seconds to get on target, and also fire solution of 3 seconds. This is something that the Midshire has very similarly for it. It actually has access to a fire director which does exactly the same for the 127s, and this means that the moment that you see a new target, you can automatically very quickly start just annihilating it over and over again, which makes the Geniere and many of its compatriots incredibly powerful. Modification-wise, it's a premium, so you get all of these for free after purchasing the vehicle. And for the 127s, you get HE common shell, then SP common, and also HEVT. So if you want to take out planes, you can do that with the HEVT. If you need to penetrate cruisers, you can also do that with the SP common or the standard common, depending on which one you want to use. And then the HE is going to be good against most stuff in general. For me, against destroyers, I've actually started using more common and SP common. I feel like aiming for ammo racks and trying to get them to explode instead of out areas seems to be a better idea. And then for the 7.62s, you get HC and HEVT. So if you want to make sure that nothing exists in the area, you can do that as well. This does have access to a hedgehog mortar if you want to use it. For me, it's just an exposed ammo rack, so I don't bother with it. And then also, you have the primary armament movement, and you don't actually get a torpedo mode for this torpedo, which kind of sucks. So I would actually probably remove the torpedo if I could, just because they're not really ever going to be too useful. They don't actually move, they're not quick enough, and they don't travel enough in the water to ever really be seen as viable. It's also a rank 2 vehicle, so it'll be effective to research all of rank 1, 2, and 3 for Italy. And to be honest with you, after researching a lot of these vehicles, there is a few which are quite nice, like the Coleone is alright, and they also gave it a hydroplane recently. Same with the Etna, it has some nice stuff on it. But generally, it's not a great tech tree to get into, Italian Blue Water Fleet. The high tier is the worst in the game. The mid tiers are also not very good. They're just kind of worse destroyers than many other nations. But if you have generally worse destroyers than other nations, you know what the best thing to do is? That's right, just use other nation stuff. And that's what the Geniere is. It's just a good old... It is just a good old fashioned American destroyer, which is been basically given to Italy so they can generally use it. Now, just to kind of show you the fire rate on the Grunds and also the measuring range, you can see how quickly it does it. So you can easily get a bunch of guns off very, very quickly and a bunch of shots off very, very quickly with this thing, and just keep firing over and over and over again and just not stop and just keep battering damage out over and over against other vehicles which are going around, which is super nice for the vehicle. I feel like just doing that little damage there with the main guns, we were able to take out about 40% of that Hunt class over there, kind of rendering it pretty much useless because we took out all of its turrets as well. And remember, we're using HE here, so we can just keep lobbing it over and over and over again. So I get why this machine has come to the game. I feel like this could have been a standard tech tree one for Italy. It would have been a little bit more useful for the Italians, like, I'm not going to lie. The Italians need as much help as they can get when it comes to this tech tree, and I feel like there was a missed opportunity here, but I suppose they're trying to get more people into the tech tree, and this would be one of those ways of doing it. So hopefully people enjoy this one. Hopefully people have a good time with it. I'm sure many will going forward. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank Merciless Reaper, Jerry Provolt, Mega Dino King, Professor X1718, Orange Tail, Sakoshi Tiger, Teddy, John Ryman, Universe, Eugens Terry, Ambrosius McClellan, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, Moxie, B. Young, and Derek R., Barine, Lafouche, and Samuel Slick for supporting the channel.